So hello and welcome along to another edition of Isolation Interviews. This is, of course, for Hospital Radio and my YouTube channel. I'm Matthew Rolland, and I'm very excited by my guest today, who is the fantastically talented Shayne Ward. Thank you for joining me.
Bless you, sir. Fantastically talented. I'll take that at, 10 o'clock in the morning. That's cool. I'm very well. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. Now, obviously, life as we know it is very weird. How have you been coping with lockdown and, the different stages we found ourselves in? How has it affected you?
Do you know what? I think we're all going through the levels at the same time. It's at first we were scared, and then was adhering to absolutely everything they were telling us to do, and rightly so. And now the confusion has just completely took over for everybody. The anger's kicking in for people, and rightly so, because we're never going to be told what we want. Well, which is basically the truth. Give us the actual numbers. And now with these new restrictions with Greater Manchester coming in, it's just it's just not a nice place to be around at the minute because everyone's on tenterhooks. So yeah.
I mean, for you personally, how did it affect your work? I mean, were you in the middle of any projects at the time? Did anything stop for you?
Yeah. I was working on a show called Band of Gold. If people were big fans of the show in the early 90s, Kay Mellor's great show on ITV. We were doing a stage production of it. We were touring, and my final week was in Bath. And as we arrived in Bath, we go to do the show and we get told, all theatres are closing. So there was that. Then I had at least about 20 to 30 shows in the books. And of course, you try and move them all to next year. And then we're still like, is it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Are we looking at maybe May, June of next year? Probably, fingers crossed it's before then. So that's what it is. That was that side of it, because there's nothing you can do. We're all just kind of waiting. But being productive for the first 4 months, I just ate. Enjoyed being at home with my beautiful little girl, Willow May, my partner Sophie, and just because work naturally takes me away all the time. So this is time you won't ever be able to get back. So I'm very, very grateful and taking in the positive from it. Work-wise, I've just been in the studio.
We must say the other good thing, obviously, with lockdown is, like you say, it gives you time to spend with loved ones. Obviously, people are connecting over Zoom, Skype, all these sort of things. Have you found yourself doing a lot more of those sorts of, Zoom calls and all that?
Yeah, I tell you what goes out the window, all those people trying to Skype off work, and like, I can't come in. Well, it's like, we can work at home now, can't we? Because we've figured this out. Zoom is brilliant. It's so cost effective. There's no long trips into London or wherever. You can just do it here as long as you get a good internet connection. So if there's any lagging, apologise. But yeah, you get so much more done. My manager is in America, and we talk every day on WhatsApp. I've been doing Zoom chats with producers, working on new material collaborations and things like that. And that's just at the minute the way that it is, and I think it's kind of paved the way now. This is the way it's going to be for a little while.
Now, obviously, we just want to briefly talk about Band of Gold, because it was a show which I never got to see, unfortunately, but it's such an amazing cast, because there's obviously yourself, you've got Gaynor Faye in the show, Laurie Brett, of course, from EastEnders, so many, talented people. So what was it like working on that show? And I imagine when you get back to it, it'll be great to kind of reconnect with them all again.
It was amazing working with, like I said, Laurie and Gaynor, Sasha Kieran, just everyone that was just part of that production. I loved it as well, just being part of something that I remember my mum watching when I was a kid, and then being given the role of Inspector Newall by Kay Mellor was just a huge honour, because she's a fantastic producer, writer and director, and it was just an honour to work for her. So to travel up and down the UK was brilliant. It was a scream. The whole cast was wicked. I don't think we're going to finish that final week, unfortunately, because as we know with theatres, it's still up in the air. And I know that Kay's filming a new Syndicate at the minute. But no, for me, it's just like it was just great having that experience of working with Gaynor as well, and Laurie. They were absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's so nice just to be able to watch their craft and learn as well, because you do every day. You learn, you absorb, and you take as much as you can. And yeah, I walked away in a heart.
And of course, you've been working on music, and also you released a song for charity over lockdown, which is such a great thing to do, to obviously be able to give back. So you must have been
Yeah.
quite happy to, honoured to be doing that.
Oh, it was. I have such a connection to Over the Rainbow. People who know me from the X Factor 2005, and that was my final song on the final night. And a lot of people believe is what then tipped me to win the show. And my mum's been asking me for years, as well as fans, to do something with it, and it just never felt like the right time. And I've explained that in many interviews. And with this, it absolutely was because of the NHS and their association with the Rainbow, and it was a no-brainer. So yeah, I sat in this office. I mean, I'm redecorating it at the minute. That's why it looks pretty bare, because I'm now turning it into a production studio, just for more music and stuff. But yeah, I recorded it here with my daughter's blackout curtain over a clothes rail, and got the camera. I'd fluff dangling from my ear. Like, yeah, you haven't really paid people to come in and check you're all right. And I did what I could, and I put it out there, and it did really well, and got number one on iTunes, which was fantastic, and was on the Rain promoting it, and various radio stations. So I was really pleased that I was able to do something, because it's an incredible job what the NHS is doing. So yeah.
And we must say it is still obviously available if anyone wants to download it, because
Oh,
why not?
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't go in my pocket. It goes into the pockets of the NHS.
And, obviously they have worked so hard over lockdown. I mean, obviously everyone I've spoken to during these interviews has, everyone said the same thing. We're so grateful for the NHS. We've maybe taken them for granted in the past, but they're back in the forefront of our minds, and we love them so much.
Oh, we absolutely love them. Without the NHS, we're screwed, and yeah, there's a lot of people that do take them for granted, and now they're realizing, and a lot of the time it's not their fault, it's just that they're blindsided by other things of like, well, basically life, there's too many things. Now we haven't got those distractions. People are seeing things clearly, and just how wonderful, and what pedestal the NHS should have been on at the start. But they're up there for me, and yeah, I think they're fantastic.
Now, obviously for you, life, your sort of, career started really on X Factor. And that was, I mean, for you, that is such a big show to start off on, because obviously back in 2005, it was, one of the most watched programs around. What was it like going from no one knowing you to suddenly everyone knows you, everyone knows your name, everyone wants a piece of you, really?
Well, it was a major difference, because I've come from such a huge Irish family, so a big traveller family as well, and it's just like, so everyone kind of knows everyone. But when it was a different scale, then it was like, hang on a minute, 21-year-old lad going down to the X Factor, winning the show. I was just then catapulted into this whirlwind of just traveling everywhere, Top of the Pops, and because that's when I was still doing that. Christmas #1. Madden Tussauds Wax Work, which not a lot of people know. If it's anywhere now, it's probably melting somewhere in Asia, because that's where I used to spend a lot of my time. And I used to spend 6 months of the year over there working. But it was brilliant. It's brilliant. One of my best moments of my life, and it did kickstart me. And I'm forever grateful for the X Factor doing that for me.
I mean, what would you say was the one thing you took away from X Factor that maybe you've carried through with you for, till today?
Just my appreciation for my fan base, of how loyal they can be, and how, and rightly so, excuse me, never get above your station at the end of the day. You got to respect the people that put you there and keep you there. They're the people, you give them the time of day, which I always have done, because they're the ones who buy your records. They're the ones who buy a ticket to come and see your show. So that for me, I used to, sorry, one second. Cup of tea. So basically, I used to do the working men's clubs many years ago, about 4 to 5 years. So I was getting used to audiences there. But when you go on something as big as the X Factor, and then you walk outside and everyone's at the gates, and then you go to the arenas, yeah, it was then that I was like, wow, this is real, and I want to keep them on side. And that's, yeah. So that to me as a whole is what I took from it, is just to always make time for your fans, 100%.
And the amazing thing is, obviously, your fans are very vocal on, the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram. So it must be nice to always have them there to support you, and to kind of get their feedback on like new projects and things. That must be
great.
I
mean, people will always tell you in this industry, fans can find out stuff before you do, and it's very spooky. It's very X-Files, like what? But they're great, and it's one of them. Look, if they wasn't interested, they wouldn't tweet about you. They wouldn't ask how you are. They wouldn't, bless them, a lot of the time suggest things like, "Have you seen this? This is going on. This would be great for you." And I'm like, and I'm so humbled and honoured by that, and I love them for it. And now with this whole isolation and coming to Friday, it's going to need another lockdown. Like you said with yourself, with your podcast, which has been actually, you're going to continue it because it's been working perfect. It gives me so much more time as well just to keep in the studio and working on new material that I've been telling them for a long time that I'm going to do. But then I've had other projects to do, so I've had to put it on the back burner. So yeah, I'm just now excited for them just to hear this new material that's coming in the new year.
Now, we must also talk about Coronation Street, which again brought a whole new fan base to yourself.
Yeah.
And what an amazing character Aidan was.
Thank you.
Obviously, it ended tragically, but so many people are going to, going forward, are going to, be able to talk about the subject. Because obviously, male suicide, it's so important to spread the word and get people talking and get people, save people's lives. So you must have felt so honoured to do that.
So honoured, so humbled that I was entrusted with this huge storyline, the taboo of breaking down that barrier that men don't talk, and it was just an incredible moment for the whole show, and just being able to use our platform for the right reason. This is what the shows do all the time, greatly anyway, which is use our platforms to tell real stories. But this one was just extremely powerful, even more because it's happening every single day. And yeah, it was received very well by the public, and still now, I always get asked about it. I always get messages from people saying that it helped them. So, I'm very, very honoured by that. But yeah, I'm just grateful for Coronation Street for giving me that opportunity as well.
And obviously an amazing cast. I mean, you got to work with people, Kim Marsh, Alison King. I've had the pleasure of interviewing Richard, who of course plays Johnny.
Oh, my dad.
He's such a great guy to speak to.
He's brilliant.
What are your memories of working with the amazing cast, and what would you take away from Corrie?
I miss the Connor family massively. You spend more or less every single day with them, so you build up this close bond. And when one person leaves, it's heartbreaking, because then not only have they gone, but then as a character, you've got to carry on that storyline that they've gone as well. So you're like, thanks just for doubly reminding me that person's left. But yeah, I love them all, from Richard, Faye Brooks, of course, Kim and Ali. It was a brilliant time there. 3 years, and I worked with absolute legends, Barbara Knox and William Roach and just Stella Denver. It was great for me. It was great.
And we must also mention that Faye will be taking part in Dancing on Ice this year.
Yes,
you must be so looking forward to seeing her on there.
I am, because she's brilliant. She's a little firecracker, just absolutely full of positive energy. And I'm excited for the public to be able to get to know her as herself rather than the character. Kate. So it's just, I'm excited.
Now, I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I could carry on talking to you for hours. But before we go, have you got any messages for anyone who's currently listening from hospital or who's stuck at home at the moment?
Yeah, first of all, sorry if I coughed halfway through that and it just absolutely destroyed your ears. Must have been the milk in the tea, I don't know. But no, I just want to say that I'm sending you all my positivity and love and energy, and get well soon to all of you. I know these are tough times at the minute, but have the most amazing Christmas if you can, and take care.
Thank you so much, Shayne. It's been an absolute pleasure. Of course, keep safe, and thank you again for your time.
And you too, man. Good luck with everything.